morning, this is Bob Mason from FX Empire and welcome to the daily crypto tech review of Bitcoin, EOS, Ethereum and Ripple's XRP. We'll be looking at the MACDs, the moving averages and the day's support and resistance levels. It is Thursday the 3rd of September. Jumping straight into Bitcoin against the US dollar, we're looking at the hourly candlesticks. It's a mixed start to the day, finding some early support. Going to need to see Bitcoin move through the pivot at 11,522. Support a run at the first major resistance level sitting at 11,861. Going to need to see support from the broader market for Bitcoin to break out through to 11,500 levels. That has continued to be a key resistance level. Barring an extended crypto rally on the day, expect that first major resistance level to cap any upside. In the event of a recovery of yesterday's losses, expect resistance at 12,000 to be tested before any pullback. Failure to move through the pivot would bring the first major support level sitting at 11,069 into play. Barring an extended sell-off, Bitcoin should avoid sub 11,000s and the second major support level sitting at 10,730. Looking at the MACD, we've got a bullish crossover late yesterday and a widening of the bullish histogram in the early part of this morning. Looking at the EMAs, however, you got the 50 having crossed through the 100, pinching on the 200, suggestive of another bearish day ahead. So key through the morning will be a move back through to 11,500 and the pivot level to then target the first major resistance level. Failure to do that and expect another sell-off. Moving across to EOS against the US dollar. It's been a choppy start to the morning, recovering from an early pullback. Going to need to see EOS move through the pivot at 3.1632 to support a run at the first major resistance level sitting at 3.4426. Going to need to see a broad-based crypto rally, however, for EOS to break back through to 320 levels to then target 340. So barring an extended rally on the day, we would expect EOS to fall short of the first major resistance level at 3.4426 and yesterday's high. That was at 3.5009. Failure to move through the pivot level would bring the first major support level sitting at 2.8255 into play. Barring another extended crypto sell-off, EOS should avoid sub 2.8 and the second major support level sitting at 2.5461. Looking at the MACDs, got a bullish crossover there and a widening of the bullish histogram through the morning, supporting the early move northwards. We've got the EMAs all pinching, however, suggestive of an imminent move. So key through the morning would be a move through the pivot level to 320 levels, which should support a recovery of yesterday's losses. Moving across to Ethereum against the US dollar, tracking the broader market recovering from an early pullback. Going to need to see Ethereum move through the pivot at 447.27 to take a run at the first major resistance level sitting at 4733.95. Going to need to see support from the broader market for Ethereum to break out from 450 levels. So barring an extended crypto rally on the day, expect that first major resistance level to cap any upside. In the event of a breakout, Ethereum could test resistance at 500 before any pullback. Should fall short of the second major resistance level at 507.89, however. Failure to move through the pivot would bring the first major support level sitting at 413.33 into play. Barring another extended sell-off, Ethereum should avoid sub 400. Second major support level sits at 386.55. Looking at the MACD, we've got a bullish crossover this morning, supportive of the move northwards. Looking at the EMAs, however, that 50 has narrowed the gap on the 100 and 200, suggestive of a possible pullback. So key through the morning, move through the pivot to 450s to then target a run at 470s and a recovery of yesterday's losses. Failure to break back through to 450s would bring that first major support level into play. Finally, looking at Ripple's XRP against the US dollar. Mixed start to the day for Ripple's XRP. Going to need to move through the pivot at 0.2816 to support a run at the first major resistance level at 0.2988. Expect plenty of resistance at 0.29, however. So barring a broad-based crypto rebound, resistance at 0.29 would likely leave Ripple's XRP short of that first major resistance level. Failure to move through the pivot would bring the first major support level sitting at 0.2588 into play. Barring another crypto sell-off, Ripple's XRP should avoid the second major support level sitting at 0.2416. Looking at the MACD, we've got a bullish crossover this morning, suggestive of a move northwards. The moving averages, however, are telling a different story. Looking at the 50, that's narrowing on the 100 and the 200, which could deliver another sell-off on the day. Key through the morning, a move back through to 0.28 and that pivot level to then tip resistance at 0.29 to prevent another sell-off.